a great little segue here because PDGA just made another dumb decision, and just heavily regarded as dumb by the course that no one watches, and Tyler can't think of a single hole for. Is
See what I
now
did there?
Set him up. You can see who usually
Champions
hosts the
Cup
show.
That's right.
Major. It's now the Champions Cup Major. And Trevor, actually, I was just on debate night. Trevor had a great question that I want to actually pose to you guys because I thought it was a decent question. You are in charge of this major next year. You cannot change the venue. What do you do to make this major exciting? Moguls from Corey.
Moguls. Honestly, could you imagine seeing a roller just launch off of a mogul?
That would be so sick, actually. Bro, just put them around the basket every time. You just have a chance to throw that thing in. But if you don't, who knows where it's going?
Yeah, no clue. But what would you do? Seriously, you have to make a major at a course that no one thinks of, really. It's
I like
often
the OTB
forgotten.
Open course. I want to just throw that out there for the record.
He likes the OTB Open course.
So the only hole that I remember, like off the top of my head, is hole 1 because it has that like awkwardly small OTB sign that's in front of the tee pad.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I remember it.
I like hole 17. I think it's a very well designed hole. I mean, listen, I'm not saying I hate the course. I actually like some of the hole designs, but
you just can't
I'm just saying it's like an event that I don't ever remember watching and I don't care to watch. There's nothing like
the West
there's nothing
Coast
memorable about them.
It's just kind of like it happens.
No, Portland is amazing. And we're going to talk about that later. I love Portland Open. So it's the most aesthetically pleasing course on tour.
Okay, he's passionate. He is passionate.
We're gonna do about it. Can't deny that. Can't deny it.
We can't wait to hear more in a couple minutes.
I'll say
I can't bring up any. I can't bring up any holes from Portland either.
I mean, they change Portland every time.
It's a little Joe Mess enjoyer over here.
Yeah,
but I enjoy like
Milo. Milo's sick.
That's true. I think what I would change is the one thing I talk about in rule changes that are not rule changes, but what they should do to make courses tougher is, Matt, what do you think? Not hazard, but stroke and distance.
Yeah.
I thought he said lizard.
Lizards everywhere.
Lizards. So many.
They're all over the course.
So many touring pros are afraid of lizards. If you put them on, they play worse.
Facts. Or they get so distracted with picking them up because a lot of these people love playing with animals in the public. So
yeah, a lot of
I think
you not watch the OTB Open regularly because you think it's in Stockholm, Sweden, and not Stockton, California.
Oh man, here we go. I put an announcement in our Discord about like, hey guys, they're taking Champions Cup to Stockholm, and I was typing quickly, and I totally forgot it was not. It was Stockton.
Okay, buddy.
So,
listen. Here's what
I knew they weren't going.
Would you rather watch it if it was in Stockholm, Sweden? Because I think it's yes for me.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe so. Here's what I said on debate night, and I think I agree with it. The only hope you have of making this.
Did he say what?
Huh?
You said
everybody stop.
I said this on debate night, and I think I agree with it. Well, I hope so. You said it, Matthew.
I meant to say I think I still agree with it even after other people's takes.
This guy is lying out of his shoes.
I still agree with what I said half an hour ago.
Brody likes to just break down people's takes on the most basic level. There's things you won't agree with after the fact of every show. But I think the only thing it has going for it is unique winners. Currently, right? Because we had Simon Lizotte, Calvin Heimberg, Emerson Keith. I'm trying to remember who else. The only thing you have is like, this is a crazy event. Who knows?
Eagle McMahon.
All right, now everyone try and do your best imitation of Brody trying to break down that point.
Statement?
I mean, if you're going to say unique winners, I'd be saying Idlewild all day, bro. Nobody knows who wins Idlewild.
Yeah, that's also true. But like,
that's my comparison.
That's my only thing that I could think.
Unique winners, they all look the same. What are you talking about?
Why is it so delayed in my headphones?
They all look identical. They're
all
not unique.
It's always a guy.
Yeah, that's a problem with diversity in the sport, Brody. We'll get there later.
Yeah, for real. Philo was our GOAT for a long time, but unfortunately.
Here's what I would do. I would make general admission free, and I'd put it on YouTube free for the whole broadcast. I would do nothing with the course. I don't think the course is that bad. I think it's got a good spectator experience, so sell VIP tickets, but general admin's free. You can watch it for free, show up for free.
Yeah.
I'm open,
Why would you
bro.
do
It's
that?
all free.
Why would you do that?
Free moguls.
I just think it's something our sport needs in general, and then if it's at a major that's already got if your core fans are kind of mad about it, hey, you might as well try to get some new ones and
about it.
make it free.
Yep.
So
I
is
thought-
OTB open on an abandoned golf course?
It's a park, I think.
Is it just
Yeah.
a park? I
think
thought it was
it's
a golf course.
I don't think it's a golf
It used to
course.
be on a golf course.
Oh, it
in
was?
San
Okay.
Francisco, but this is a different course.
Oh. Okay, so this is just
This
that's
is
what I
just
thought.
like the past 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
so there is a possibility of putting moguls.
Sure.
I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility.
I mean, anything
I'm
is
gonna-
possible.
I'm going to say the
You just
word
gotta
moguls
believe.
until they do it.
Hey man, everyone's okay with that. man.
Moguls.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is this? There's a lot of dumb decisions the PDJ's made in the last year.
Okay, hold on. Let's just say
One of the-
this. Why is it
Moguls.
dumb? Why is it dumb to go there?
Because the only thing you have going for this major Champions Cup is it will be at a wooded, tough course. That is the thing that is being pushed with it. Yes, Taylor.
Do I have permission to rant for a while?
Yeah, bro,
Moguls.
squeak to
And then
that.
I'm next.
Tweet that.
The thing is, I'm mad and I don't even know who I'm mad at. I'm mad at everything, bro.
You can be
Um,
mad at me.
I'm mad at Corey. So I don't hate that it's at this course,
I don't like
because
it
I think
with
it has to be.
James.
but the fundamental issue is I don't know if I'm mad at the PDGA. I don't know if I'm mad at disc golfers. Why are we still in this situation where the PDGA needs to be bailed out of running a major? And there's 5 people in the country that are able to run a major. There's Nate Heinold, Jeff Spring, there's the Seans at OTB, and that's your list of tournament directors that have the ability to do this and it not go terribly. And I don't understand why that's the case, because if you actually think about why it's at this course, it's not because of the course at all. It's because of who can run it. Nate Heinold and the crew that works OTB raise the most money by far, have the least issues, can actually run a tournament smoothly. And that's the only reason. If you listen to an interview with them, they were going to do it at this course this year until Nate Heinold said they were going to do it at Northwood Black. I just don't understand how we're in this situation constantly of there's 4 people in the world that we can get to run a disc golf tournament. I guess outside of UC in Europe, who's taking Worlds next year. But we've been in this situation forever where we get 3 Worlds bids a year, and I don't know what needs to change, but something has to change where we have more talent across the country to host a disc golf tournament. I'd rather have it in California too, where it's not raining and it'll actually be nice weather. Well,
That's
Yeah,
true.
moguls.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, I'm with you on there. All right, my turn.
Go ahead, Tyler.
I'm with that 100%. I got on Twitter when Brody was talking about it, and I said, I think the biggest problem in disc golf is that people are trying to put in bids for these events, and nobody wants to bid because they don't want to run these tournaments, right? The reason why the Pro Tour doesn't come to Iron Hill anymore is because the local guy, Jimmy, that runs it, doesn't want to have to do all the work to set up the tournament every single time. So what I think they should be doing is collectively all
Firing
those.
Jimmy.
What'd you say?
Firing Jimmy.
Jimmy's a legend here. We can't
Darn
do
it,
that.
Jimmy.
Yeah,
He doesn't want to run it.
well, someone else needs to step up. But I'm
Well, it's
saying,
like they were talking about the
beside the
guy that
point.
has the course in Jonesboro, and they were going to have 2 courses. And the first question was like, "Oh, you guys want to put in a Worlds bid?" And he was like, "No, I don't want to
Exactly.
do that."
Exactly. Nobody wants to do it. So this is what I'm thinking. What they need to do to make sure we don't have the same issue if we're going out to the same 4 and 5 courses every single time. All those people need to come together and say, okay, can we contact somebody locally there? Help them as much as we possibly can to courses that we would like to go to, contact the town if we need to get a permit to have tournaments there. I think that's the way it's supposed to be done, not places putting in bids, because we are not the PGA Tour and we're not golf. We're disc golf, where it's a lot harder to put these events on. Now, with saying that, I know you need local help, but I think if the presence of all those individuals said to a person like Jimmy, we're going to give you all the resources and time and everything that you need. We just want you to be the head of it. We're going to give you all the help you need, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. I think that can help the issue. I don't know if that's actually feasible or not, but I'm really what I really want is that we also need to establish what each major's purpose is. It sounds like it was the unwritten rule or the unofficial Champions Cup should be a hard-wooded course. Well, obviously that's not the case anymore. So I think we need to establish we want this major to be like this major to be like this major to be like this. And in golf, it's the Masters is at one course every single year. You know that the US Open are going to be the hardest conditions you've ever played on possible. PGA Championship, very similar, except you're now allowing PGA professionals at club golf courses playing these tournaments. US Open is also like anyone's open to get into the tournament. You have to qualify. And then the British Open or the Open is known for being very link style, open style, crazy wind conditions, rain conditions, all that kind of stuff. So there's an established difference of what all those majors mean and do. They need to start establishing that in disc golf if they want to have something like that, essentially. So
yeah, that's a great point. I'm curious.
You're back.
I'm curious what's currently done for like support on the PDJ side, because I think it's very interesting. Like Sean Mercy and Sean Jack, the guys that run OTB Open, are like super transparent financially with just like running the event. And I think it's like no other event or sport of this scale has like essentially volunteers. Like, you're not a full-time tournament director, right? Like you're just doing this because you love the game. When the 2 years they were in San Francisco, both years they lost over $20,000 running the tournament. Which, like, that is just insane to me. Like, you can't put the burden so much on either, the local city, the tournament directors. Like, there has to be some sort of monetary support there. Like, I know obviously we have the tiering, like, requirement to pay out, majors is, I think, 125% of your entry fee goes to the prize pool, which in almost every tier of PDJ sanctioned event, that number is over 100% of the entry fee has to be paid back out in either, product to AMs or just the prize pool. So I feel like that just has to be subsidized somewhere. Like it's insane to like have to just not take in essentially anything tournament wise, like monetary compensation for the huge task that is running an event like this.
Yeah, and I wonder if like you said, if there was a team that says like, "Hey, we'll do these things for you," how many more bids are you getting? Right. If the guy at Iron Hill knows that he will have a squad of 10 DGPT members who are going to come, and one guy's specialty is setting this part up, one guy's specialty is greens, or like 2 or 3 guys are green stuff. Like, how many people are welcome to opening their arms to a big tournament there?
Right.
I feel like drastically more of them, but just like you said, a lot of them, it's like that this isn't their full-time job, so they're gonna have to take time off and they're gonna have to do all this stuff to, at the end of the day, have a trashed course and have lost a lot of money, and so it does seem weird that doesn't exist in some capacity overall.
How long in advance do you guys think that they actually prepare for the tournament?
I know Nate Heinold is mentioned for like Ledgestone. He starts basically the day after Ledgestone ends for the next year.
You think it's like that for majors?
I would think so. I mean, at least on like the fundraising side, like trying to bring in money side. I mean, obviously I don't think it takes, more than say a month for like coursework, like actually prepping the course, getting the course ready, unless you're like changing the design. But logistics, I mean, you have to do so much, like as far as just running a large scale event, like you got to rent porta potties, crowd control, parking. Like there's a lot of logistical stuff that goes into running an event that takes a long time.
I wonder if we need to be like 2 years out.
Yeah, I definitely think that would help, but again, it's like who are you getting to? I don't know. I feel like my ideal solution is like just this is somebody at the PDJ's job. Like you are tasked with.
That's what I'm saying.
A major. Like this is your thing. Go figure it out.
I'll do it.
Corey
will do it.
Which one?
Corey
will
hire me.
Tyler says that as far as Iron Hill goes, they started work on the course like 3 weeks beforehand.
Yeah.
And I think that makes sense, right? If you're not changing layout stuff, then it's just cleanup. If you're changing holes, like Maple Hill is changing holes literally all that, like every year they got 3 or 4 new holes that they're trying out. So But it really does feel like if someone was giving support, a lot more courses would be open to helping out or being involved, I should say, which you'd love to see because there's some sick courses that never get played on.
When was the last time Worlds in Charlotte? Or ever?
A long time ago. Yeah, there was one
Long time ago.
like 13, 14-ish, 12, 13, 14, somewhere around there.
Well, let's fix that.
Might be.
I feel like then you have Pro Tour Championship, USDGC, and Worlds all in Charlotte.
Whatever.
Yeah, who cares? Courses are good.
Courses are good.
Yeah, but
Does
they could
anybody-
advertise it as like the year of the Charlotte,
Yeah, that's fast.
and it's just you're going back there every couple of months. You're going back there.
Does anybody have any other Champions Cup specific stuff?
No, we yapped our little butts off.
Moguls.
I think this is hilarious. I ripped this straight from the upshot, but this is really funny to me. Just recapping, as Tyler said, that majors need to have an identity. I think we've solidified Champions Cup's identity as just absolute chaos. So I wanted to go back. I forgot about a couple of these points. This is the full history of Champions Cup, right?
Okay.
So in 2021, Champions Cup is announced, confirmed. We have a fourth major. It's announced that it's going to be a mix of stroke and match play, that there was going to be match play to end the event, which that came to an end when Paul McBeth did not list Champions Cup in his tour schedule. I completely forgot this, but Paul put out his tour schedule on Instagram and Champions Cup was not on it, and everyone freaked out. Sponsors were freaking out, sponsored the event, so they just said, JK, never mind, it's going to be a normal event, and we have Champions Cup in 22. We go look forward to 2023 Champions Cup, and they say we're going to have it at D-Glow. It's going to be at Toboggan. And everybody has the current reaction of, no, we like it in the woods. And they say, never mind. We're going to have it at WR Jackson until the end of time. And now you can't blame the PGA as much for an infestation of pine beetles, which has rolled the course. But obviously the full drama of this year's rescheduled it to Northwood on top of a European DGPT event. Once again, Paul McBeth's got to be the guy that swoops in and fixes this event, says, hey, Chief, I ain't going. So they reschedule it again. And now we have our current drama of where the...
Have you guys heard anything about WR Jackson? Because I can't remember where I read it, but someone said that the trees that they had to take down weren't actually part of like the main course.
I have
Like
no
it didn't
idea.
like
I
it
have no
didn't
idea.
affect the actual course as much as they thought it would. It was actually just like almost like more rough than the lines.
The way they do that, they should technically tag the trees beforehand, so they should have had an idea far before they actually cut stuff down.
Yeah,
but
I thought the initial announcement was like, we're basically going to lose most of the... I know they had other courses that were unaffected, but actual WR Jackson, or the course that is used for Champions Cup, was going to be like basically gone.
Yeah. Oh, and you can blame the PDGA for believing that they were going to cut down all those trees and then build another major level course in under a year.
Yeah, that's kind of facts. That's kind of facts.
If you'd like to, but no, I don't know. That's who knows. So what are they going to do? We'll see them bounce around.
I gotta be honest, I'm just numb about it at this point. Like, it's like, whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
that's probably reasonable.
If we have a major that is well run and has no drama associated with the scheduling and the weather's good, like, I'll be fine. I'll watch it. And I think like 10 years from now, if we get a suitable WR Jackson replacement back, we'll all look back and say like, yeah, remember when this was in California at the golf course? That's wild.
I like the idea that we had one major that was like in the woods, heavily wooded, even though WR Jackson is in the woods. It's not like the most tight wooded course ever. But I like the idea of that tournament being in the woods. But
Definitely.